Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you've been here before, that is, and if you've never been on my channel before, welcome. Great to have you. This channel is called auntieqasmr, and I make a lot of whisper ramble videos. Tonight is gonna be a soft spoken video. We do those sometimes as well. I've been so congested today. I don't know what's going on, but my voice is a little weird, and I don't think I could whisper very well right now. But what I do want to do is have some dinner. I thought that we could have some dinner together. If you've been a previous viewer of this channel, then you would know that I'm a flight attendant. I'm coming to you from yet another hotel room off the back of yet another day. And today's day started in New York City, and there is a restaurant in New York City that I love, and it is called Burmese Bites, and I've been there one time before. I saw like a food Instagram person make a reel highlighting this place, and it looked delicious. The owner was talking about his food and his culture really passionately, and the thing that really caught my attention was that there is a dish apparently in Burmese cuisine that is a fermented tea leaf salad, which got me wildly excited because I love tea. I drink tea all the time. I have a large collection of loose leaf tea. If you've watched any of my videos where I've been making a video in Amsterdam, you will have heard me blabber on and on about the tea store in Amsterdam that does Kung Fu style Chinese tea ritual. Love tea, and I have been aware that tea exists in culinary applications, but in marinades and stuff. So I have not heard of a dish where you actually consume the leaf, nor have I heard of tea being used as really anything more than part of a technique. But here it's like a cultural dish, it's an ingredient, it's like the center point of this thing. And the last time I was in New York, the only objective that I had that day was to go to this restaurant and to go to Bon Bon Swedish candy store, because I saw that on the internet too. Surprise, surprise, the girl who makes videos is chronically online. And I made a video when I was in New York last time, and I talked about the food that day, I'm sure, but I don't know to what extent. But let's just say I was very excited to go back. So I, this morning, got up and got ready, and I took the subway to Queens. The location that I go to is the one in Queens Center Mall food court. It's the original storefront of Burmese Bites. It started as a food truck, and now there is also a Burmese Bites stall in this like multicultural food hall in Midtown. But from what I could gather online, I believe that the Midtown location has a different menu, And because I'm not sure if it has the tea salad, I go to the one in Queens. Also, I just really like Queens when I'm in New York. Great food in Queens. Can't really go wrong with gravitating toward that area. I stay in Manhattan when I'm in New York, so the Midtown location would have been a lot easier to go to, but I had a shorter layover today in New York. I got to New York last night and I left at 2 p.m. So next month I think I will bid for a 30-hour New York trip because I really like going, and it would be nice to have a day where I can go to the other location in Midtown, just to have that in my back pocket as an option to go there instead, because it's closer to Manhattan on my shorter layovers. Because one thing I know for sure is that I do intend to keep making going to this restaurant a priority whenever I find myself in New York. So I went there this morning. They open at 10. I got there by like 10:30, and the owner, I know he's the owner because he was the one being interviewed in the video that I saw, was the one working there today, working by himself. And I ordered a Burmese chicken noodle soup. It kind of looked like cow soy, which is a northern Thai soup that I really like a lot, but this has more like coarsely ground halal chicken, pickled mustard greens, egg noodles, a hard-boiled egg, just a bunch of really yummy stuff, and it's also coconut based, and it was really delicious. And I ordered 3 of these tea leaf salads, 1 to eat right now for dinner, 1 to eat tomorrow while I'm still at work, and 1 to eat probably for dinner tomorrow night too. But I'm gonna take the last one all the way back to Minneapolis with me so that I can share it, because that's how much I like it, and I've been talking about it. And so because it's a salad, I asked the guy, I was like, listen, I would like to have 3 tea leaf salads, and please don't laugh at me and don't be mad, but if it's possible, could you put like the wet parts of the ingredients separate, because I'm gonna travel with it. And I explained to him briefly why, and it turned into like a nice little conversation that we had. I told him how I found out about his restaurant, how I've been once before and I loved it, and I just wanted to come back and eat it again, and that I want to take it home with me. And he thought that that was very sweet. He said that he felt honored that somebody liked the food so much that they wanted to go through the trouble of carting it back to their home with them on a plane. So I got the tea leaf salads to go, and I got the soup, and I got these flatbreads that were filled with like chicken and cilantro and onion and egg. And I was just gonna take it all with me and go eat at the hotel just to make things simple. He was like, are you gonna eat today? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have the soup today, but you can just package it all up the same and make it easy. And he was like, no, I'll make the soup first and you can sit and eat soup while I finish making the salads, which was super sweet. And I ate that soup so fast, it was gone right away. And then I went to work, and I've been waiting until right now to eat the salad, and it traveled pretty well. I did like tape the lid on, but it's so yummy. So look how, first of all, he packaged it so nicely. So it traveled beautifully. I did put like a paper towel on top to kind of wick up any moisture so that the greens wouldn't really get soggy. And then I taped the lid onto this one because in my lunchbox I could fit two on top of each other, and then this one had to be sideways. So that's why it's a little bit more beat up, and that's why I'm eating this one first. But, so it is, I'll show you. Let me wipe my hands first. I was just fidgeting with this and I forgot that it was for my hands because I'm so excited to eat. And hopefully you have some food too, or a nice little beverage, or a nice little snack that you can have with me. But, so it's a shredded cabbage base, and it has diced up tomatoes and raw slices of garlic, and you can eat it with lime. There's some Thai bird's eye chilies. There's a crunchy mix that goes on top, and it's got, I'm not even sure what this is. It looks like a half of a dried bean that's maybe fried. To a crisp. Maybe soybean, because some of their dishes have like soybean powder, so I take it that's like a common ingredient. It's got peanuts. This looks like a smaller thing. And then it also has sesame seeds in it. And then the star of the show, these are the fermented tea leaves. And I think this is where like the liquid was coming from, aside from the tomatoes, but this is kind of, I don't know, got like a little bit of oil around it or something. But these are spent spent tea leaves, and I just think that's so neat. And they do have like, so they're spent tea leaves, they have been fermenting, and they do seem to be packed in like a little bit of oil, which is really tasty. It's kind of almost giving me like a mild olive kind of thing. It's really tasty. So I've got my base of shredded cabbage. There's another chili in here. Shredded cabbage, sliced garlic, and diced tomatoes. I'm just gonna kind of mix around a little bit, like so. And then I'm gonna add in my tea leaves. Yeah, I'd be curious to know like what the process is, because now that I've seen it packed up separately, do you see that dripping? It's viscous. It's not just like, you know, a little bit of leftover liquid from the tea squeezing out of the leaves. It's like definitely oil coming off of it. And I don't know if that's like part of the fermentation process or how they package it after they get it to where they want it to be. But I didn't notice that last time because I ordered it to sit and eat while I was there. So it was already all mixed up. So I didn't realize that. But I'm really glad that I got to try it this way, because when I took that little taste of the tea leaf part, it was super yummy. I just love this so much. It's such a cool dish. I haven't really had anything like it before, and the guy was so nice, and the food is so tasty. Okay, I've got all of that mixed up with the tea leaves in there now. I'm going to squeeze my limes on top. The soup had lime too, and the flatbreads I ate in between flights in Atlanta, and they were delicious. They were served with like a shreddy cucumber thing, almost like a chunky mix between a tzatziki and a raita, an Indian raita. I don't know. It was good. It was really tasty. And it reheated well. It was still like crispy when I had to microwave it, which was surprising. So mix in the lime. Another thing I like about this salad is that it's like shreddy ingredients. I like a salad that you can eat with a spoon. You know? Okay. So now I got my lime in there. I'm gonna add my crunchies. Crunchies. It's just a yummy salad because it's got the right size bite. I love the cabbage, I love tomato. The fermented tea leaves are kind of funky. The lime is sour. And then you can, like, I like to take a bite and then take a nibble of one of my peppers, one of my chilies. So it's like spicy, funky, salty, sour. Texturally, it's really yummy. And it's like only ever so slightly worse for wear as a result of me carting it around on its side for half the day. It's so yummy. And I'm not like a huge salad person, but I like a salad if it's accompanying like a meat. But I'm not really gonna want to eat like a salad as my meal very often. And this doesn't even have meat in it, but it's got all this different textures and flavors. It's really satisfying, and it's just really tasty. I like it a lot. I would highly recommend going to Burmese Bites if you get a chance to go to New York. Or if you can just like find a Burmese restaurant, you should try Burmese food. I never happened to cross a Burmese restaurant before until I saw that video, and now I would like to find more of them. I can tell you that. And after this, I'm gonna watch some Gilmore Girls because it's fall, and that's what we do during fall. We watch Gilmore Girls. I never actually watched Gilmore Girls. When it was still in production. I've told this story before. It was like maybe, oh my god, it would have been close to like 10 years ago now. That's crazy. But I saw some meme on the internet talking about how like it's a basic white girl move to watch Gilmore Girls during the fall because it has like cozy fall vibes, which are my favorite kind of vibes. And so I was like, I'll check that out. And that was the year that I watched all of Gilmore Girls. And then like the next year came around and I watched some more episodes. And then Netflix did that like anniversary reboot. And I watched that, which is where the town weirdo Kirk, his character has a pet pig. And the pet pig is named Petal. And I thought, what a great name for an animal. And at the time, I only had one cat. I had Rumble. And I had that name in the back of my mind when Petal came around about a year or two later. Petal turns 8 in November, and that's how I got the name Petal. There's another show that I'm watching right now, but it's like a sci-fi horror TV show on Amazon Prime that my friend told me about. My best friend recommended that I watch Suits, and I started it and I started to like it, and then towards the middle it gets really boring and I stopped watching it. And then recently I went back to it because I didn't have anything to watch, and Suits gets good again in the last like couple of seasons, so it sucked me back in and I finished it. And then that same friend recommended me to watch this TV show called From. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's about this town that, I'm gonna get the hiccups, I'm not a fish. Did you know that if you get the hiccups and then you say out loud, I'm not a fish, it makes your hiccups go away? It has worked 100% of the time ever since I heard that, once again on TikTok. But From is about this town that once you enter, you cannot leave, and at night, these things that look like human beings but aren't human beings come out from the forest, and they will mimic people that you know to try to get you to let them in, and if you let them in, they'll tear you to shreds, and nobody knows why, including me, because I've only seen like 4 episodes. But I'm not gonna watch that tonight. I'm gonna watch Gilmore Girls, and I'm gonna be cozy in my bed. If you want to be cozy in bed after you finish eating your dinner with me, I suggest that you watch Gilmore Girls. If you want to stay up late and get spooky, then you should watch From. And if you've seen either of those shows, you should let me know in the comments. But if you're talking about from in your comment, don't spoil anything, okay? I know that season 3 is coming out soon, and I've only seen like the first 4 episodes of season 1, so don't ruin it for me. And I've also said this before, but not since my channel has grown. So I'm gonna say it again, because if I have a platform for anything, for any reason, it should be to get more people to have awareness of this TV show and watch it, because it's my favorite. So if you're just looking for like a general TV show recommendation, the best TV show, movie, anything of any kind that I've ever seen is a TV show on Netflix called Dark. It is a sci-fi show. It is in German, and I promise you it is worth the investment of your time and energy to watch it with subtitles. It is an incredible, mind-bending sci-fi series, the premise of which is time travel. And they get so complicated with it, and they do it so well. It's honestly like a magnificent feat. So that's like my 2 cents on TV show recommendations. And if you have any TV recommendations for me, you should let me know, because I'm always looking for things to play in the background. My go-to used to be Family Guy, but Family Guy is on Hulu now, and I don't have Hulu. It's very upsetting. I'm also really kind of excited because I found a new band that I really, really like. Not a new band, but new to me. I'm particularly bad about branching out with new artists and discovering new artists to add to my rotation, because I just like what I like, and I've been listening to the same music for like the last 10 years, and I have a very bad attention span. If a song doesn't like immediately capture my interest within the first like 10 seconds, I just want to skip and go back to listening to like my old playlist. So it takes usually a suggestion of a friend that shares my music interests with me to get me to find out about a new artist, or it'll take me playing an artist that I really like on Spotify in the background while I do chores until the Spotify algorithm, which kind of sucks starts playing artists that are not the artists that I asked it to play. I don't know if you've noticed that about Spotify, but if you go to an artist page on Spotify and you hit shuffle, it doesn't shuffle all of that artist discography. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not doing anything wrong because I tried to Google it and it seems like I'm not the only one that has this problem. But if you go to an artist on Spotify and you hit shuffle, I don't know if it only plays like their most popular songs or what, but it'll play like a bunch of their songs, but not all of their songs. And then without you asking it to, it'll start playing music by other artists, kind of like Pandora. But anyway, that's like another way that I end up finding out about new artists, is I will play music that I know and love and know all the lyrics to, because it makes great jam sesh music for when I'm trying to get focused on tasks like cleaning, which is exactly what I was doing 2 days ago before I started this work trip that I'm currently on. I got a freaking eyelash in my eye. I can't get it. Anyway, that's what I was doing 2 days ago, the day before I came to work for this trip. I was talking about this in the video that I just posted. If you watched it, I was yapping about the difficulty that I sometimes have keeping up with the chores in my life when I'm constantly gone for work. And then if I take very few days off, like the day that I have at work is not a day that I want to spend doing chores. It's a day that I want to spend rotting and doing nothing with my cats in bed. And I just recently took a couple days off in a row, which I have not done in like a few months. So I finally hit that point where I got motivated to do my chores. So I put on my favorite band is Tool. And if you watched my like second to last video, I was wearing a Deftones t-shirt. I freaking love Deftones. They're probably, I mean, Deftones is absolutely within like my top 5 favorite bands. I love Deftones. I've only seen them in a concert once before. I'm about to go see them for my second time in November. I'm gonna fly to San Diego to go to that Dia de los Deftones event that they do annually. I'm really excited about it. But my favorite band is Tool. I have gone to 7 Tool concerts. I've been my first one was like, I don't know, almost 10 years ago in Sacramento. I have seen them in Los Angeles, San Bernardino, San Diego, Ohio, New York, and Minneapolis. Minneapolis was the most recent one. It was on Halloween of last year, which was really fun because I went with my best friend, the same one that recommended me those TV shows, and we went in costume. And when I saw them in New York, it was for my 21st birthday. I'm 28 now. This was before I was a flight attendant, so I literally like saved up my money because I'd never been to New York before. And at the time, I was fixated on wanting to live there someday, and I still do. I love New York. I went for my 21st birthday. Tool happened to be headlining Governor's Ball that year, I think on my actual birthday, June 7th. Or no, June 7th was the day that I got my skull tattoo. That's so stupid of me. All my tattoos are so dumb. Anyway. So that, yeah. This was before I was a flight attendant. I saved up my money and my vacation time to go see them in New York. And I love their music. And it's one of the artists that I can hit shuffle and I'll know every song and I can just jam out and have a good time. So I was doing that and I was doing my chores, and then Spotify did its weird little thing that is like kind of dumb but also works out because it's, like I said, it's how I end up finding new artists. And this song came on called, the song was called Feather Gun in the Garden Sun by a band called Rishloo, Rishloo, Rishloo. Never heard of this band before. That song is like so good to me, very catchy. The guy has really strong vocals. It's got like interesting timing, which is what my friend, the same friend that recommended me the TV show and went to see Chill with me last time, we talked about it. He listened to the song, he liked it, he thought the vocals were good, the timing was interesting. The chorus is really catchy. I've been singing it all day long. And that song in particular didn't scream like Tool to me. If anything, this guy's voice does somewhat remind me of Maynard's voice from Tool. It also kind of reminds me at times of the dude that sings for Coheed and Cambria. But like really good vocals. But then, so my brain got fixated on that song, Feather Gun, and I've been listening to it on repeat, and I finally, in the van from the hotel back to the airport before I fell asleep on the ride this afternoon, I let Spotify start playing some other songs by Rishloo. And this song called Omega started playing. Now that song, I could see why Spotify's algorithm played this artist for me when I asked it to play Tool. And then, so I love that song, Omega. Then I heard a song, Water is Fine. And then just now, coming from the Baltimore airport to this hotel, I was listening to, what's it called? El something? El Empre? That song also reminds me of Tool. And this is what I mean about, like, I really am bad about branching out to new musicians and new artists, because here I am excited about a new artist who I like just because they sound like another band that I already like. So I could definitely, you know, I'm guilty of not really expanding my horizons that much musically. But what are you gonna do? I like what I like, alright? I love Tool. The only band that I've seen more concerts of than Tool is Avenged Sevenfold. I became obsessed with Avenged Sevenfold when I was like 12. I was in middle school. I started listening to Avenged Sevenfold. At the time, I was listening to like screamo bands. The first artist that I heard that did screaming was Atreyu. My brother rented the Curse album from the library. I'm aging myself right now. We used to rent CDs from the library and burn them on our computer using iTunes, and that's how we would get music, because we were too lame to torrent, but we were too old for our childhoods to just have, like, you know, electronic everything. And anyway, he picked up the Curse from the library and he played it in my mom's car. This was even before I was like big enough to sit in the passenger seat of a car. Either that or my brother just always got shotgun because he's older than me. But I heard You Eclipsed by Me as the first song that I'd ever heard that had like screaming in it, and I was like, what is this? Because at the time I was listening to a lot of like emo and pop punk music, you know, the typical pipeline. And then I was like, I like whatever this is. And I started getting into like heavy metal and like progressive metal and all the whatever subgenres. I don't really know or care what exactly is the proper verbiage for it. I just like what I like. But then in middle school, I became like literally obsessed with Avenged Sevenfold because I was too young to have a personality, I guess. Like, if you knew me from age like 12 to 18, I was obsessed with that band. Unfortunately, their new albums don't hold up for me. City of Evil will forever be one of my favorite albums of all time. In retrospect, are all of their albums really that great? Not really. Sounding the Seventh Trumpet definitely sounds like somebody's first attempt at making an album. The self-titled album is good. I really like a lot of the tracks off Waking the Fallen. I found out recently that for years I've been reading the track title wrong for Desecrate through reference. I've always read it as Discreet through reference because I'm stupid. It's on one of my playlists. And I looked at it closely the other day and I was like, oh, it says Desecrate. Because why would it say discreet anyway? I don't know. But I like that album. City of Evil will always be one of my favorite albums. Trashed and Scattered was like my favorite song, if you would ask me, for like years, just because it sounds so like aggressive. I love the thrash metal feel to it, and I thought it was so cool having that as like my favorite song. And then so their drummer passed away during the recording of the Nightmare album, which is like around 2010, which is around when I was that age and like becoming obsessed with them. The first time that I ever saw them at a concert was in 2010, right after middle school for me. So I never saw them touring with their original drummer, and all the music that they made since is like not my favorite. I hate to say it, I really do. The stage is like, or no, Hail to the King came before that. It's fine, you know, it's fine. And then the stage came out. The stage, I think, was better than Hail to the King. And then they had, what was that album that came after that had Fermi Paradox on it? I don't remember what the name of that album is. And I don't know if I don't know what the name of that album is, because I kind of fell off at that point. And then the newest one that they released, Life is Beautiful. I'm so sorry, but it is so bad. I don't understand how anybody likes it. I didn't even listen to it when it came out because I haven't really been enjoying the music that they've put out with the last couple of albums, so I really fell off as a fan. And I just, like, my heart couldn't take it if I listened to another Avenged Sevenfold album that I didn't like, so I didn't listen to Life is Beautiful. But my brother, and we used to always go to their concerts together, we've actually met Avenged Sevenfold, all the surviving members. We've met them, like, more than once, because we used to go to this music convention called the NAMM Show in Anaheim, California. And they would always be there, and they are always so nice and gracious. I mean, they are all like the sweetest human beings. And of course, you know, if they're being watched, obviously they would be nice, right? But I had M Shadows on one of my flights that I was working like last year. And you know, if you know Avenged Sevenfold, you'll know that he's famous. But if just to like anybody, nobody's gonna know. I was the only person on that plane that knew who he was, and I didn't even say anything because I didn't want to make him uncomfortable. He was traveling with his wife, and I was like, let me just be chill. But I knew who he was, and he was so nice, like one of the nicest passengers that I've ever had. Like, eye contact, earbuds out when he's talking to you. If you do anything, he's saying thank you. Like, so nice. I can't say anything bad about the people in that band, but I don't really like their music anymore, and so I hadn't listened to Life is Beautiful. And my brother texted me one day out of the blue just to say the new Avenged Sevenfold record is ass. There, I said it. And I was like, oh, Jesus. All right, let me take a listen. And I just don't get it. I'm not gonna be a hater, because obviously they're more successful than I will ever be. And I understand that there's people who actually really like that album. After I listened to it, I then went to go try to find interviews with like music publications and music reviewers. I literally tried to understand, like, is there something that I'm missing? Like, what are the virtues of this album? And I don't get it. Personally, I don't get it. But I still have really fond memories of going to all their concerts. I have seen, and when I tell you I was obsessed, I have seen probably 14 Avenged Sevenfold concerts. Sounds about right to me. And I'm so excited to see Deftones again. I saw them once years and years ago, like before I was ever a flight attendant, back when I still lived in California, way before the pandemic. I really don't have any excuse for why I never went to Dia de los Deftones before, because it's an annual event. I think I just kind of fumbled the bag, and the tickets were always sold out by the time I remembered to go buy tickets. And then the pandemic happened, but I'm going this year, and I'm really excited. I love Deftones. My favorite Deftone album is Adrenaline. Every time I'm seeing discourse on the internet about what is the best Deftones album, like 90% of everybody says it's White Pony. Listen, it's a great album, but I stand before you as an Adrenaline truther. I love that album. I love the aggression. El Empre. That's the name of the Richelieu song that I was trying to remember. The one that I just heard for the first time like an hour ago. So, I mean, bummer / not bummer, because I really like this band now. I've heard like 6 of their songs, and I can't wait to keep listening to more. But they haven't put out new music in like 10 years. So I'm probably never going to be able to get to see them. I don't know if they plan on coming back from hiatus. Oh my god, they're like Tool in more ways than one. I'm just realizing, because Tool didn't make new music for like 12 years or something before their latest album. Maybe Richelieu will do the same thing. That'd be nice. I would like to go see a new concert, new band. Because I love going to concerts, but like I see the same bands a lot too. I've seen Alice in Chains twice, 2 or 3 times. Obviously never with Lane. as the singer. That was a bit before my time, unfortunately. I've seen Metallica once, actually, only, surprisingly. I've seen Slayer twice. 3 times. I've seen Slayer 3 times. Death was touring this year. They go by Death to All now, since Chuck's not alive anymore. And I don't know the name of who sings for them anymore. But I saw that they were coming to Minneapolis. They were doing 2 nights in Minneapolis. They were doing full album performances. So the first night they were performing the entire Scream Bloody Gore album, and the second night they were performing the whole Sound of Perseverance album. That is another one of my favorite records. So many tracks off of that album just get me so amped up, dude. I love every time I hear the intro to Bite the Pain, I get so excited. And the chorus to Spirit Crusher, which the whole time, one of like Avenged Sevenfold's like biggest hits is Unholy Confessions, and it sounds, that guitar, like dun 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 dun. If you listen to Spirit Crusher, you might wonder where they got it from. I've looked that up on Reddit a few times. I'm not the only one making this accusation. But that's a really good song. I like it a lot. I like angry music. I really do. I'm not even like an angry person. I just like music that, like, that kind of energy just gets me, like, I try to listen to more chill music. I like music that's beautiful. Like, there's a song that was on the outro to one of the last episodes in Suits. It's called Love and Hate, and I don't remember the artist's name, but it's one of the first results if you look it up on Spotify. And it's like a very beautiful guy singing, and I've listened to that song on repeat a few times since I heard it. I mean, as soon as it played on the TV show, I immediately Googled the lyrics to find out what song it was. But it's just not the kind of music that I want to listen to the majority of the time. And I think it's because music is not my preferred background noise medium. If I was going to go to music for background noise more, then I would definitely invest more time in like chill songs. But for background noise, I prefer podcasts, stand-up comedy hosted podcasts. I like to giggle. I like to listen to ASMR. But if I'm seeking out music, it's usually to try to bring me up a level so that I can get motivated to do something like my chores. And like that kind of like head banging music just really does that for me. But I would say that my favorite, I like classical music. Classical music works for me for background music. I grew up playing flute. I was in a youth symphony. I like classical music. I do not get EDM of any kind. Everybody's always wanting to say that they listen to all kinds of music. I definitely don't. I can understand the virtues and like get behind most kinds of music, but I just really don't get electronic. Which is weird because a lot of metal kids will branch off and become ravers. And when I ask some of my friends that I know who have gone that route, like, why? They're like, well, it's the same, like BPMs, like it's the same. I was like, I don't have that switch in my brain. Every time I listen to electronic, I just don't get it. Like, I'm not a hater, I don't get it. But there is there is an artist named Tamino. He's probably like my favorite vocalist, like artist, not band. He's got a really beautiful voice, and that's the thing, is like if I'm always listening to music to like affect my mood somehow. If I'm gonna listen to like slower, quieter music, it can't just be pretty. Like, I want it to make me sad. And he has some songs that are like really pretty and really sad, and so I like them a lot. I can't believe that I've yapped for so long that it's taken me over an hour to eat a salad. The way that I can yap is fucking crazy. I'm gonna end this video now and eat the last couple of bites of my salad while I watch Gilmore Girls. I hope that you enjoyed this video, ? I don't know how relaxing it was. I don't really do like mukbang content, but I mean, you can hear how weird my voice is right now. If I try to whisper it, my voice starts to crack. So that's kind of not great. So I knew I couldn't make a whisper video tonight, but I didn't want to make no video tonight. And I'm on kind of a short overnight layover, and I knew I wanted to make a video, but I also wanted to eat food, and it would take less time to do those two things if I did them at the same time. So we're trying this tonight with a bit of a congested and raspy, soft-spoken tone that maybe wasn't relaxing, but hopefully at least you got some TV show recommendations out of it and somebody to yap at you while you ate your dinner. Let me know in the comments down below what you ate for dinner with me. Let me know if you've watched those TV shows. Please let me know if you have any other TV show recommendations. And if you relate or share in my music tastes at all, please drop me some of your music recommendations, because I should definitely try to branch out more with the kind of music that I listen to, or at least not like the same 10 artists that I've been listening to for the last like 15 years. That'd be cool. I hope that you found this video enjoyable in some sort of way. But I'm gonna go now, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.